Welcome back, you all, for Chapter 23, Guiding Mathematical Experiences. Mathematics is the study of numbers, space, and patterns. For young children, math is an active process of thinking about and organizing experiences to make sense of their world. This process involves reasoning processes, problem solving, and communication. Children construct math concepts by relating new experiences and information to what they already know. Meaningful learning requires the ability to see patterns. Classroom equipment, materials, and activities must provide opportunities for the children to understand patterns through play. Early math experiences for children should focus on exploration, discovery, and understanding. Concepts are developed by the exploration of hands-on materials, three-dimensional objects, and the discovery of their relationships. Math concepts are usually taught informally in day-to-day activities in early childhood classrooms. Almost every activity area in the classroom promotes some sort of mathematical exploration. The teacher's role is creating an environment and offering opportunities for children to develop mathematical thinking. Children may learn shapes, color, and order concepts through art activities or by playing with blocks. Cooking activities teach how quantities are related and ordered. For instance, you might tell a child, beat the eggs first, then add sugar and add vanilla last. Classroom games can teach the concept of first and last, as well as high and low numbers. If dice are used in a game, addition concepts can be taught to older children. Dramatic play offers many teaching opportunities. For example, as children play store, they can learn about money. Songs, stories, and finger plays can also contain numbers and mathematic words. The goal of early mathematic experiences should be to make sure that we have well-planned environments that provide developmentally appropriate play experiences that will help promote math skills. These math experiences should These math experiences should help form concepts such as shape and color recognition, classification, measurement, counting, time, temperature, space, and volume concepts. Before planning math activities for children, you must first determine the children's skill level. To do this properly, children need to be assessed individually. Two common forms of assessment are observation and specific task assessment. Observation involves informal viewing of a child during self-selected activities. Specific task assessment involves giving children set activities to determine skill and/or needs. Encourage the children by providing an active, stimulating environment. You should also provide a variety of three-dimensional objects that promote physical and mental activity. Collections of items for counting, observing, creating, sorting, discussion should also be provided. From these experiences, children can construct math concepts. A quality curriculum provides a rich environment. It also provides developmentally appropriate materials and activities to help children explore key concepts. Math activities for preschool children should promote the development of many skills. The art of curriculum design is matching children's needs to their interests. So let's discuss a few of the concepts and skills. So color concepts. Color is considered a math concept since it helps children learn to discriminate among objects. Using color, children can classify, pattern, and sequence. Identifying colors also seems to promote language development. Studies show children learn to identify colors before shapes. However, it is not uncommon for a preschool child to confuse color and shape. Color concepts can be taught both formally and informally. You can teach them during transition times. You can sort objects by color so that you can teach color concepts. Having charts in your classroom is another way to teach color concepts, where you can possibly also use like graphs, where you may graph a child's eye color or the color of clothes that they're wearing that day. A Feely box or a bag is also a useful tool for teaching color. You can place buttons, colored buttons, paper, felt objects, those kinds of things into the bag or the box and have them pull them out and then identify the color. You can also go on color hunts around your classroom or around your center where you are looking, which is a really fun way to teach color concepts. And then during a color hunt, you would just be looking for those specific, a specific color. Okay, today we're going on a hunt for red. Today we're going on a hunt for green. Shape concepts. Geometry is the math content area for developing shape concepts. Children are often confused by shape. At first, they will say circles and squares are the same figures because both have closed boundaries. Over time, they will become aware of the features of the boundaries themselves. The skills needed to identify and draw shapes do not develop at the same time. Children can most often name shapes before they can draw them. To teach basic shape concepts, use geometric vocabulary and language. Use words such as corners, same, different, length, angles, sides. You can also use some blocks that are called parquetry blocks to teach shape concepts. And these blocks are geometric pieces that vary in color and shape. Classification is the process of mentally sorting and grouping objects or ideas by a common attribute. So what's an attribute? Well, an attribute might include size, color, shape, pattern, or function. This is one of the first skills displayed by young children. Matching, sorting, and sequencing are all skills involved in classification. Matching involves putting like objects together. Sorting is the process of physically separating objects based on unique features. And sequencing is the process of ordering real life objects, like from shortest to tallest or from tallest to shortest. Before children can learn to add and subtract in elementary school, they must understand sets. A set is simply two or more objects that are alike in some way and therefore belong together. Common features of a set may be color, shape, size, material, the pattern, texture, whatever. A key objective of early mathematic activities is to have children learn to recognize objects. Objects belonging to a set are its members. A set can have a few or many members. A set of glasses is often a certain number, such as 4 or 12. So like if you buy glasses, they come in a set of 4, they come in a set of 12. A set with no members is called an empty set. So counting is a very basic math skill, okay? It is to be included in the curriculum because it is a key problem-solving tool. The foundation for understanding counting is called one-to-one correspondence. One-to-one correspondence is the understanding that one group has the same number as another. And this is the most basic part of the concept of numbers. Children absolutely love to count, okay? They may start developing oral counting skills as early as 2 years of age. 2- and 3-year-olds learn to count at least up to their ages. They count objects by pointing to them, and then they say the numbers one by one. Most 4- and 5-year-olds can count higher. These children touch an item each time they say a number. Sometimes they forget which items they have counted. They might skip several items or touch or count an item more than one time. Gradually, they will learn the concept of cardinality. This means that the last number in the counting sequence tells how many objects exist in the set. This number will not change regardless of the order in which the objects are counted. The ability to count occurs in two stages: rote counting and rational counting. Rote counting is learned before rational counting. Rote counting is simply to recite numbers, okay? To recite the numbers in order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, all this skill of rote counting it does is it requires memory, not necessarily understanding. Okay, so they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but that doesn't really mean that they know the quantity of 10. Okay, or that the numbers are really go in that sequence. They've just memorized that order. Rational counting, however, involves attaching a number to a series of grouped objects. For example, a child has a box of crayons sitting on the table. And if you ask the child for some crayons, he or she may place them on the table one at a time. As the child places each crayon, they may assign a number to its sequence. Many children you teach will be able to recite numbers in their correct order. However, they will often not understand the meaning that the numbers represent. Children usually become skilled at rote and rational counting during kindergarten. In order to read and write, children must develop number sense. And number sense is the understanding of how numbers work. They must be able to recognize written numbers and their symbols. Numerals are the symbols that represent the number. Okay, so like the number 1, that's a numeral. Okay, the numeral 2, that's a symbol. Okay, each numeral will represent a quantity. Okay, so the numeral 2 represents the quantity of 2 items. Children learn numerals through informal and naturalistic experiences. They gain these recognition skills as they are continually exposed to numerals. Space concepts. Spatial relationships refer to the position of people and objects in space relative to each other. Describing the positions of objects in space is an important part of early math experiences. Children should be shown concrete examples of these spatial relationships. And since children's awareness of location and space grows out of their own bodies, it's great to use the actual children themselves and have them move physically. So you want to, space concepts include things like before and after, high, low, up, down, here, there, far, near, above and below, first, middle, last, top, center, bottom. So we want to use our children in order to teach these concepts and do it often and use that vocabulary in our classrooms. Children develop size concepts only through experiences. And volume and time and size, all of them through experiences, okay? Volume, we usually can teach volume concepts with the sand and water table and using containers that vary in size and volume for measuring so that they can learn volume. Time is a very, very difficult concept for children to understand, partly because time can stand for so many situations like past, present, future, and soon are all examples of time concepts. Studies suggest that young children have only a vague concept of time. In fact, the average 5-year-old child knows only the difference between afternoon and morning and night and day. They usually they're usually children. One of the things we associate with time is actually like telling time on a watch or a clock, right? And so, but children typically don't even develop that concept until around the age of 7. I know this was long and a lot of information, and this is a lot of information that you will also learn in CHD 217. But I thank you for joining me for guiding mathematical experiences, and I hope to see you next week.